our chair lady, activist extraordinaire, Madam Rosalind Brock, to our friend and warrior, the president of the NAACP, Ben Jealous, and to our chair emeritus, one who paid the price and paved the way, the one and only Julian Bond. About 15 months ago, I received a call from an attorney that I had worked with in this area and in Tallahassee named Ben Crump. He told us about a young unarmed man who had been killed down the road from here in Sanford, Florida. I had not heard of Sanford, Florida, and I had not heard of Trayvon Martin. But when he told the story and I spoke with the father, we galvanized and brought tens of thousands of people to Sanford. Why? Because we did not want to see a decision made about life and death in the back of a police station. Well, it should be made in a court of law. Right. Yes. When we came down, we not only galvanized and had the rally, we met then with the federal government, the U.S. Attorney. I was in the meeting. It was the day my mother died. And we made the request then that the Justice Department begin an aggressive investigation on civil rights charges. I say that because there's some that are trying to act as though that we're raising civil rights charges now after the verdict. We raised civil rights charges as a request before we even had a special prosecutor. Why? Because there's a law in this state called Stand Your Ground that is the worst violation of civil rights of state law in this country. And until we can overturn Stand Your Ground, we risk other Trayvon Martins, and what we must do is stand up and deal with a civil rights investigation and the end of Stand Your Ground at the same time. Let me be real clear. Some in the media down here have acted as though, because they write something wrongly, that we read it and lose our minds. Just because you tell it different don't mean we don't know it to be different. All right. All right. The reason we got a trial is not because the system corrected itself. We got a trial because some of us, by the request of the family, the lawyers and those in Sanford, asked us to come in, and we raised the temperature until the governor had to deal with what was right. And just like we raised the temperature to get the trial, we're going to keep raising the temperature to get civil rights legislation and to turn around, Stand Your Ground. Martin's father, Dr. King, used to say there are two types of leaders. There are those that are thermometers. They measure the temperature in the room. All right. Then there are those that are like thermostats. They change the temperature in the room. Some folks are thermometer leaders. They go in and see how good or bad people are acting and how the cold they're running. but some of us go in the room to change the temperature. So I don't care what name you call us. I don't care how controversial you think we are. I realize when we come, the heat is on and you're speaking because we got you sweating.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And that's what we come to do, is to turn the heat on. We didn't come and interfere with the trial. We didn't come one day because we respected due process. But now you respect the rights of this family to pursue civil rights legislation and a civil rights investigation, and you respect the right of citizens to deal with the legislation of stand your ground. We cannot have our sons and daughters' lives on the line for anybody that wants to pursue them, fight them, and kill them and say it's in self-defense. We didn't come to argue the jury verdict. Jury is spoken. But now the people gonna speak. And we're gonna take this fight to the next level. And we're going to Washington in August, but we're gonna stop by Tallahassee on the way. Let me say, and let me be real clear, don't romanticize the march in Washington. 50 years ago, Martin and I both couldn't go. We were too young. I was 8, he's about 5. Ben wasn't even thought of. This march that we're having August 24th is not called by those that went. This is not a reunion. This is about those who walked through doors that those that went 50 years ago opened. And we didn't walk through those doors for you to stand your ground and to take our voter rights and to wipe out number 4 in the Voting Rights Act. Our mamas and daddies paid the price for us, and we never turn the clock back. Next week in Miami, we're having 3 days planning how we're going to deal with the state legislature in Florida and stand your ground. Y'all got an election next year. We're going to deal with stand your ground as the test case in Florida. If we can do it in Florida, we can affect other states. Now I know what they're going to say. They're going to say, well, y'all are outsiders, even though we have Nash Action Network in Florida, certainly NAACP in Florida, Urban League in Florida, outsiders. But let me tell you, outsiders named Alec. Outsiders named Alec brought Stand Your Ground in. So outsiders like Al are going to help bring Stand Your Ground. Learn from our fathers and mothers. You realize that A. Philip Randolph, Bayard Rustin, Whitney Young, Roy Wilkins, Dr. King organized and had none of the technology we have. They didn't know what a cell phone was. They never had online, offline. With all we got to organize with, we have no excuse but to fight what we've got to fight now. Now, I know the illusion was when we elected President Obama that we were post-racial. But those that were saying that never was profiled in a department store. Those that were saying that was never pulled over on a highway. We that had bared the burden of blackness knew we wasn't post-racial. But some of us relaxed, but others of us knew that we